I have a couple of things to think about for tomorrow, everybody. Number one, Trump's going to lose. He's going to lose
Okay.
badly. He's going to be wrecked. I don't know what the electoral college count's going to be at the end of this, but it's going to get loud and it's going to get hard for him. Their panic is extraordinary. Their events in Georgia and North Carolina are basically about as well attended as a Pokemon card trading convention in Ass Crack, Alabama. This is a campaign in freefall. It's really, really fucked up. And I have from a reliable source inside the Trump campaign that Chris LaCivita was thrown off the Trump travel plane by Corey Lewandowski yesterday. He's denying it to reporters, but it's true. And we've got you got a campaign ending in chaos, and you got another campaign that was able to deploy 90,000 volunteers to knock on 3 million doors. Guys, the better campaign is going to win this one.
He's going to lose. It's not even going to be that close, actually. So I know everyone's talking about how close it's going to be, but they're just underrepresenting the
Scaramucci.
women, and they're overcalculating because they've been embarrassed, the pollsters, twice with the underpolling of Donald Trump supporters. So they've overcalculated for them, and they've underrepresented the amount of women that are voting for the vice president. So, you know, he's going to lose. I think he senses it a little bit. I think you could see in the agitation and a little bit of the desperation of the doubling down on the racism and the misogyny and all the things that he thinks going to attract his base. He's saying things that are mind-boggling. I think the weird thing that's happened, Nick, if you don't mind me saying so, is that the American people give him a pass on everything that he says. But I think what actually blew him up is the MSG rally, because his acolytes do not get that same pass. So when they're calling Puerto Rico a pile of garbage, or they're saying they want to slaughter their Democratic opponents, or somebody like Steve Miller saying America is for Americans, and it's sort of paraphrasing Adolf Hitler, those guys don't get a pass from the American public. And they're like, wait, whoa, Trump is bringing those guys in. They're going to try to out-Trump Trump in the White House. And I think that burst his bubble about eight or so days ago.
Hey, Kamala, what are we going to say to Donald Trump in November?
Bye, bye, bye.
You know, well, I think he's fading. I've said that for a long time, but he's probably still has, I was talking to a friend of mine in New Hampshire yesterday, probably 25 to 30% support. You get a crowded field, he could come out of there, he could win, but he's never going to be president of the United States. Thank God he's not going to be that. However, I mean, he's still a force in the party, but not as strong as a force.
Am I going to worry about it? First of all, I'm not going to worry about it, Phil, because he's not going to win.
So you think he's just worn it out? You think people are just going to get fatigued?
Enough. I
Just
feel
category fatigue.
I mean, it's just going to be, we're talking about a few 100,000 people, perhaps. But I think it's going to be a little closer than that. First of all, she's definitely going to win the popular vote, as Democrats almost always do now. But I think she will win. I think he will, of course, go batshit insane, as he always does. He won't accept it. His followers, I think, I don't think their heart will really be in it, as it was in 2020. Some of them, there's lots of people who will always be in the bunker with Mrs. Goebbels, taking the poison and giving the poison to the children, because it's better than living in a world without National Socialism. I make an analogy, but I don't say he's a Nazi.
It's unbelievable what these people said before the election. I don't think if they could even hear themselves talking about all these horrible things about how Trump is Hitler. Come on, let's be real here. This is 2024. I mean, just like Cat Williams said, everything will be out in 2024. I think people are just tired of all this stuff that, mostly the media, they've been gaslighting everyone, and everyone is just tired of it, and they're just seeing through their bullshit, and they're just calling it out. So things have changed.
But I think for most people, it's just fatigue. Yes, I think it's time.
Talking to the guy in the store, of course, asking him, did he vote? And he said he did early voting, and he asked me if I early voted. And he asked me, why I was getting the champagne. And I said, because I'm going to be toasting Madam President tonight. And he just looked at me with kind of like a smirk on his face. And I said, she's going to win this, right? And he says, oh, well, it's very, very close. And I said, no, it's not. He says, well, what do you mean? I said, no, it's not. The women of America are making their voices heard. Whoa. Reproductive rights is what it all comes down to. And the women are voting in numbers relative to men that are unbelievable. She's won this. And I said to him, she's going to take every one of the swing states plus Iowa. And he said, oh, but the numbers are so close. I said, I'm a political analyst. I'm telling you right now, the numbers are there. She's taking this election. And then I said to him, you realize, and he didn't tell me who he voted for, but of course I knew. And I said, you do realize you wasted your vote, right? And I didn't care. And I walked out with my bottle of champagne and happily walked home. Bye-bye.
Who is laughing now?
So, as you know, Kamala Harris did not win the election. As the numbers stand right now, there were 18 million fewer votes than in 2020.
Where did
And
they
as I
go?
have said all along, you
Where
have to
did
have a
those votes
huge,
go?
huge turnout, and it goes to the Dems. And we didn't have it. There is one fundamental thing that you cannot account for when you're using data to predict or project the outcome of an election, is you can't factor in the impact of racism or the existence of racism and misogyny.
Oh, the
Really?
math has shown.
Racism, misogyny, women haters. Come on, guys. Come on. I'm not an American, but I think that the whole world is really happy for Trump. Things were going haywire, no direction. Humans were just losing their morality and stuff, just unbelievable. The world didn't really have anyone to steer it to the right direction. So many people share the same feelings with me. I'm not an American, so I didn't have any dog in that fight. But yeah, I'm glad Trump won, you know.
Donald Trump has no chance of winning in November of 24. He wouldn't even win Georgia. If you're a Republican that can't win Georgia of November 24, you have no shot, and he's proven that. So, and not only has he proven it, but the candidates he gets behind in a good conservative state like Georgia lose the race. His messaging doesn't translate. It does well with a hardcore 30-35% base, but he loses everybody beyond there. And no one is undecided about the former president. There's no one out there going, well, maybe I might consider voting. No, you know where you are. He's a known commodity, and so the math doesn't add up. So if Republicans nominate him, then we're saying a vote for him in the primary is effectively a vote for Joe Biden. I mean, that's ultimately how the math will play out.
Attention MAGAs, it's 2 days from the election and it's about time somebody talks to you, with 2 days left to go in the election. We have to talk to you now because on election night, you're going to find out very quickly, even though Donald Trump is going to claim victory, yeah, within a few hours, you're going to find out that's nonsense and that he lost badly. Yeah. And I'm just on here now to prepare you because the last thing we want to hear is the whole...
For the record, I heard they are still counting votes, so maybe before the year is run out, well, things may turn.
Oh, somebody cheated, somebody didn't count the vote. He's going to lose by millions and millions and millions of votes. And you want to know why? Because people have just had enough.
All right, here it is, everybody. My final map. No more light colors and mixed colors. It's only red or blue. Check it out. Now, I did change Florida blue. I was verging on having it as a lean, but you know what? Where's Ron DeSantis? How come he's not stomping for Trump? Because he knows. The rest is self-explanatory. But I have to say, I'm not shy about putting 349 electoral votes in the lap of Harris. She's going to get those. She might get more. There may be more shocking things happening here because I have a weird feeling about Texas. I don't know. San Antonio people are saying they're voting for Harris. So for now, this is my final map. It's right there, and I'm not changing it. Harris is it's gonna be a blowout.
Oh
It
boy.
can be argued that this indictment or even a conviction would not prevent his supporters from standing by him. If he wants to be elected president again, he's going to need the votes of a lot of people who did not vote for him the last time around, voted for Joe Biden. Now, can anybody in any real world that you can imagine, would people, in the light of this and all else that happened after the 2020 election, going to vote for him this time, who didn't the last time? Hard to believe.
Trump supporters thought they had this in the bag. But look at these numbers. He's still going down. She's still going up. It's just been a crazy turn of events. We are 1 day away from this election, and I think a lot of people are going to be upset.
I would say take Harris over 270 electoral votes. Let these fools in these crypto markets do something. let them drive the betting line into a favorable place and then take advantage of it. That's what I would do. I think she's going to win.
And why do you think she's going to win?
More money, got more energy, got to have a more united party, has better surrogates, and he's stone-ass nuts. Today, this guy is a loser. He's fat. He's pathetic. He doesn't know what he is. He's confused. He's dazed. And I think people are going to see through that. And, a lot of these macho, guys, I don't think they think...
Let me just say this. The same people who say Trump uses foul language, he abuses people, they come online and they abuse him and they don't want to be held accountable. Wow, I don't understand that. Let's just be fair. The reporter should have held this man accountable to say, and really just say it in his face. You are saying all that to Trump, right? Yet you accuse Trump of saying the same thing to others. So come on. Hypocrisy at its finest, right?
It's my to attack women, attack Puerto Ricans. I mean, I don't think they're or blacks or anything else. And we're going to win this thing, baby. We're going to win it. I'm telling you right now. I feel it in my bones. I'm not backing off. You know, people, oh, man, you're crazy. You just can't say that. Look at the polls. They tied. I'm saying it right now. We're winning. We're going to win. I'm more confident today than I was 2 days ago.
Trump lost in 2018. He lost in 2020. He lost in 2022. How many times do we have to lose to realize that we've got to get this right? When we look at the situation, we will have...
Poor Nikki Haley. That really didn't age well, did it?
A female president. It will either be me or it will be Kamala Harris. If you nominate Donald Trump as the Republican nominee, Joe Biden will win and Kamala Harris will become president. That's a fact. Let's speak some hard truths. If Donald Trump becomes the Republican nominee, we will get a President Kamala Harris. You mark my words. He cannot win a general election. Look at Iowa, look at New Hampshire. He can't get independents. He can't get suburban women. He's losing Republicans who say they don't want him and will vote for someone else. It's a problem.
What I'm trying to tell all Republicans and anybody, independents as well, anybody that's voting in those primaries is, if you want a change in our country, which I think the entire country wants a change, we won't get a change if we don't win an election. Donald Trump will not win the general election. You can have him win any primary you want. He will not win a general election. We will have a female president of the United States. It will either be me or it will be Kamala Harris. But if Donald Trump is the nominee, you can mark my words, he will not win a general election. And what I say to everybody is, don't complain about what happens in a general election if you don't really think about that in this primary. We can do better. You look at, I mean, these are the two most disliked politicians in America.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump.
Oh, poor George Clooney. Poor George Clooney. I mean, you could tell that he was not even serious about it. He's got his hand on his jaw. It's like, let me just say this thing out there, even though I know I don't believe in it. Terrible, terrible. Well, they're eating their words now, and next time I hope they just chill out a little bit, you know, just chill out and just let the voters decide. And perhaps those pollsters, I'm sure they were the ones who really got these celebrities and the media pundits into this trouble. They believe the polls, right? They believe the polls. So anyway, anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I'll be bringing you more of these, and perhaps this coming 4 years will be a roller coaster. So just make sure you grab your bottle of beer and stay tuned to the Black Coffee podcast. Cheers.